All right. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Divine Speaker. I'm a little bit scared. I'm not looking forward to this episode. For those of you who do not know, I've talked about it a little bit in this series. I played the demo of this game, and I know what's going to happen next. And listen, we're about to go through some of my worst fears. Like, I don't know how the people who created this game got into my head and pulled out my worst fears and put them into the game, but we're about to go through them for the next couple of episodes, and I'm not exactly excited about it, but we gotta get through it. Let's go. I'm excited to see the rest of the story after this, and we just have to get through it and go. Let's do it.
Ooh, look over there! We can start with them.
I'm still not entirely sure why he's following us around and helping out, but I think we need to accept any help we can get. He pointed ahead where a group of ladies stood huddled close, talking. Seems like a good place to start. As we approached the group, they quickly became quiet. They looked at us wearily and tried to avoid eye contact.
Excuse me. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I was just wondering if I could ask you all a question? Sorry. I don't mean to intrude or anything. I'm looking for someone, and I was just wondering if you've seen or heard of him at all.
Good day, my lovely ladies. Surely you'd be able to answer a few questions for us? We promise not to take up too much of your time.
The women looked between Sign and I and exchanged a few glances between themselves.
Come on, you two. Stop acting so suspicious. We can answer some questions, but no guarantees we'll know the answers.
Valid.
There's strange things happening here. Is it safe to be speaking so openly to strangers?
Indeed.
Who are you boys searching for, then?
I'm looking for a man who goes by Caspian. Or Cass?
I've never heard of anyone here with that name.
Neither.
I'm sorry. I wish you luck in your search. But I ask you, be careful.
Please.
I hope you can find who you're looking for.
Thanks for the help.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate the help.
Goodbye.
Damn.
He came through here so many years ago. Will we find anyone who still remembers him?
We've only asked a couple of people, so don't be upset.
You're right. I just can't help but feel disappointed.
Maybe we should spread out. We'll find out more information. In groups of 2, just in case we get lost. And of course, Rain should come with me.
Of course.
What? No, I don't think so.
Huh? And why not?
What do you mean, why not? That's obvious. Because...
See? You don't have a reason.
Maybe Rain could just choose for himself?
Oh boy.
Isn't it obvious that I have to go with him?
Continue.
Why? What reason do you have? To keep him safe? Are you his bodyguard or something? Why do you care?
No, I don't care. Fine, do whatever you want. If you want to run off with this idiot, be my guest.
I mean, we all know what I'm going to choose. I'm sorry, Fawn. You're gonna have to deal with Sign.
Leos, why don't we go together? Just to be safe.
Smart choice.
Lame. I'll steal you away next time then, Rain.
Maybe. I'm debating.
Don't worry though, Fawn. You're really cute too. I don't mind keeping you company.
Fawn's like, great.
Maybe you're a little too sweet looking though. It makes me want to eat you up.
What? You're just gonna leave me with this guy?
I'm sorry.
Only for a little while. I think spreading out is a good idea.
Let's just start looking.
We'll meet back here later, okay?
All right.
In an instant, Fawn was being pulled along by Sign, and they quickly disappeared around the corner. I feel a little worried about his safety.
Do you think Fawn will be okay?
No.
Do you want me to be honest, or is it okay if I lie?
Maybe it's a bad idea to let Sign drag him away.
What's done is done. If we never see them again, oh well. 2 less people for me to worry about.
Okay.
Don't say that.
He's definitely up to something.
Who? Sign?
We don't know a thing about him, and he's following us around everywhere. He's a disaster waiting to happen.
He doesn't seem too bad. He's trying to help us.
But why? I mean, what does he stand to gain out of this?
To gain?
Everyone has motives. He's hoping to get something from us. Nobody helps others for free.
Sure they do.
Even you? And Fawn?
I said everyone, didn't I? Oh, would you look at that? People.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Leo dropped the conversation and found his way over to a lone man. He was staring up at the sky silently.
Excuse me. What?
Okay, maybe it's not the same guy. Okay, oh my god, he didn't pop up on screen. This might be okay. His eyes darted suspiciously between Leos and I.
We're looking to locate someone.
It's very important to me. His name is Caspian, or Cass for short. Have you heard of him?
I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't have the time for your stupid questions.
Damn, okay.
Well, maybe you have the time to...
It's fine, Leos. Thank you anyway.
He went back to staring up at the sky. It's a little strange.
Well, that's disappointing.
Alright.
Starting to feel like we'll never find him. Who remembers someone from over 18 years ago?
We're giving up so soon? We've barely started.
He paused for a moment and looked down at my arm.
You know, I've never seen your markings up close.
Do you want to see? Ta-da!
Really? I guess I mostly keep them covered up.
Oh. Does he want to see them? Why doesn't he just ask normally?
Do you want to have a look?
Nearly as much as I'd like to take a look at Sign's ass.
So absolutely, okay.
Whoa! You want to see his ass?
No,
That's a little strange.
No, you don't understand. Forget it. Here, give me your arm.
Uh-huh. He pulled at my arm and rolled up my sleeve roughly. The black markings running up my arm would have been exposed to everyone if anyone was around. I almost forgot they were there. If only.
What could they mean?
Maybe it's a curse after all?
Oh no, you're definitely cursed. Cursed to be an idiot who attracts annoying guys.
What does that make you?
What? Including yourself?
He ignored me and traced the markings with his fingertips. The light touch sent a shiver down my spine. He cast his eyes downwards, deep in concentration. When he makes a face like that, I could almost forget his personality and the things he's done up until now. He just looks like a normal person. His fingers traveled down my skin and stopped as the markings ended. He stayed still for a moment, contemplating. His hand felt cool against my warm skin. Impatiently, I waited for his hand to keep moving downwards. When it didn't, I lightly touched his hand.
Hey, Leos,
Oh, new faces. That's rare.
I'm scared of everybody right now. Yow! Quickly, I rolled my sleeve down and Leos pulled his hand away from mine, and we both turned to the voice that called out to us. Just ahead was a man with black hair, leaning against the wall and watching us. Compared to the rest of the people we've met, he seemed relatively calm. He watched us approach with a neutral expression on his face. And those glasses, they looked expensive. I've never seen such a fancy pair. As we got closer, his eyes went wide.
What are you doing in Oxaber? We don't tend to get many visitors anymore.
He looked me up and down, the same astounded expression on his face.
Oh, we're looking for a man that came through here a while ago. His name is Caspian, or Cass for short.
Caspian? But you couldn't be.
My name's Rain. Oh, and this is Leos.
Rain? I could have sworn you looked just like... Forget it.
He gets that a lot.
Wait, you know him? Do you know where he could be?
I know him. Or well, I knew him. As for where he went...
He looked between Leos and I.
I'll tell you. But I need something from you too.
Heck no.
What?
We can't talk about it now. Meet me back here tonight, after sunset.
He turned around and left nonchalantly.
What the hell was that?
I have no clue. What do we do?
Well, sounds like a trap. What we do is ignore him and keep asking around.
But he recognized the name. He's our only lead. Why don't we go find Sign and Fawn, and then think about what we should do?
We quickly retraced our steps back to our meeting point, where Sign and Fawn were already waiting for us.
Guys, did you find out anything?
Oh, I learned a lot. Apparently, Fawn doesn't like it if I tease him, or touch his hair, or grab his hand. He's no fun.
I'm sorry, Fawn.
That's, not helpful.
And we got stuck talking to a group of kids that wanted to braid his hair.
Okay.
They wouldn't leave me alone. They kept asking me questions.
A failure, then.
Well, we ran into a guy with dark hair and glasses. Unlike everyone else, he didn't avoid us or seem scared. He recognized the name Caspian and said knows him. Used to know him. But he'll only tell us if we help him with something. He wants to meet tonight, after sundown.
Is that a good idea? Meeting up with a stranger at night?
Honestly, even I can tell it sounds sketchy, but it's all I have to go on.
If you're set on going, then fine. As long as I'm there, he won't be able to try anything.
That's not fucking true, Leos. You are not my savior during this fucking part, okay? When I get scared, I'm not gonna be screaming your name.
I'll come along too, then. It sounds like fun.
Fun?
Thanks, guys. It's decided then. We just need to waste some time until night.
I still think it's a bad idea. I mean, what else could it be when you came up with it?
Thanks.
Hey!
With such a big, strong man to protect us, we'll be fine.
Not long ago, you called me a noodle. I have no obligation or want to help you.
Obligation? That's an interesting way to put it. I wonder how someone like you could have been indebted to someone like Rain.
It's none of your business.
What about our little Fawn? Will you keep him safe too? Or is that reserved for your brown-haired beau?
Every time you open your mouth, it makes me die inside a little more.
I think that's enough teasing.
What do we do until later?
How about lunch? It's on me.
Literally. Or I said that joke the first time too, but...
Well, I am starving.
It's settled then. Come with me.
Sign turned and started leading us the way without missing a beat. His confidence is astounding. Before I could even take a step, Fawn took my arm. Hello?
Rain,
Yes?
I don't know if this is a good idea.
That's so valid. It's not, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Agreed.
What do you mean?
You have to be careful who you end up owing. We're accepting too much from him, with no way to pay him back.
Oh, he's fine. The other guy we have to worry about.
He wants something from us.
Probably.
You think so? Isn't he just being friendly?
No, there's something else to him. I think he's a lot smarter than he lets on.
Well, I can't help that I'm starving. Aren't you two hungry?
Yeah.
Come on, slowpokes! I'll starve to death before we get down the street at this rate.
We're coming! Let's just go along with him and eat for now. We'll work out what to do about him later. I do think he's just being helpful, though. He's a little strange, but he seems nice enough.
Nothing gets through your thick head.
No. We caught up with Sign and followed him through the streets of Oxaber, and I started to notice little details I hadn't caught before. Most of the trees were dead, and there was very little greenery. Compared to the quaint feel of Stagwitch, it was much more industrial looking. Colder. We were told that it was a haven for glass production. It felt like one giant factory.
Where are we going to eat? I'm starving.
I know a nice little place. Hopefully they're a little more welcoming than everyone else we've met.
That wouldn't be hard.
The people here, they're a little less than friendly.
We can talk about it over lunch. Hurry up!
Sign hurried us back out into the main streets. Again, they were empty. It looked so deserted, it was hard to imagine anyone actually living here.
We're here!
I keep looking into the windows to see if I can see any faces. I know there's not going to be, but above the doorway that Sign stood in was a sign that said, "The Lighthouse."
This place is my favorite!
We all shuffled in while Sign held open the door. Almost instantly, we were led to a secluded table surrounded by partitions. You could kill someone in here and no one would notice. That is still such a weird fucking line, Rain. Everything was pristine and lavish. It looked a little...
This looks a little expensive.
Oh, don't worry about that. Didn't I say lunch is on me?
I could feel the stares coming from Leos and Fawn. Something about accepting gifts that I have no way to pay back, right? I'm sure it's fine. After this, we'll go our separate ways and probably never see each other again. He might be a little over-friendly, but he seems like a nice enough guy. Just accepting lunch shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Thank you, then. We're all starving. I don't think we've eaten anything since yesterday morning.
No problem. You know me. I'm a generous guy. Anything to help you out.
You out. I get it, Sign.
No, we don't know you. Why are you being so generous?
Ignoring Leos's question, Sign waved over a waiter.
Could you please bring us menus now? We're ready to order.
Right away, Sir Sign.
Leo sighed up this exchange wearily.
Oh, they know you by name. Thought you weren't from around here.
I visit a lot.
What an interesting little stammer you did during that line.
Your personal menu, sir.
Thank you. Feel free to order whatever you want. They handpicked these dishes just for me, after all.
I looked over the menu. It almost seemed to be in a foreign language. There wasn't even a single thing that I recognized. What is all of this? I looked at Fawn, and he seemed equally puzzled.
What is all of this?
What do you mean? It's the menu.
I've never heard of any of this.
What? Seriously? Were you raised in a barn or something?
Or something.
Oh, wait. You're a forest boy. That's right. What about you two then?
Yeah, I've never tried any of this. I've never even heard of them. Leos?
Me either.
Well, pardon my manners. How about I just pick out a few and we can share them around?
Sure.
That sounds great.
He beckoned the staff over and chose out a few items from the menu for all of us. He definitely does this a lot. He always talks casually, but there's a slight change in his tone when he talks to them. Like, there's some hint of authority. And the staff cater to his every whim. This doesn't look like the kind of place you'd usually share food. In the blink of an eye, numerous dishes were sprawled out across the table. Even Fawn and Leos' eyes went huge, despite being so doubtful before.
Dig in!
The situation was similar to yesterday morning, when Nikos laid out a feast for us. We all loaded up our plates with a little bit of everything.
Wait. None of this has cow's feet in it, right?
No.
Huh?
Ignore him.
I ate a few forks full of food before turning my attention back to the group.
So, I think we should try and compile what we know about this place.
Does it matter? In the end, it has nothing to do with us. We'll talk to that guy later, then get out of here.
Hopefully.
If we have any hope of finding information about Caspian, then it's here. That guy might not even know anything.
It's still not our job to go around fixing everyone's problems. Whatever is going on here has nothing to do with us.
Still, aren't you even a little bit interested? I know I am.
I have to admit, even I'm curious.
See? So, what do we know?
We know that the town is practically deserted.
But rather than deserted, they're all hiding inside. Anyone we've met outside has been terrified.
Lilas mentioned something about people going missing, and the town center is somehow involved.
I'm here every few months, and it's not usually this bad.
I chewed slowly on my food and thought about it. No matter how I turned it around in my head, I couldn't work out what was going on.
Yet this restaurant is operating like normal. Maybe the waiter would know something?
Waiter?
In an instant, he was at Sign's side. The service is impeccable.
You must know. What's going on around town? Why is everyone so quiet?
He looked away with a frightened expression on his face.
I'm not sure I can. I shouldn't talk about it, but masses of people have been going missing.
Masses? Where could masses of people be going?
We have no clue, but some of them. Some of their bodies have been turning up, all around town as if they were on display. Well, what was left of their bodies, anyway. I'm sorry, I can't say any more.
Nonsense. You told us enough. Thank you.
Sign slipped a few coins into his hand, and he left after thanking him profusely.
It's even worse than we were expecting.
Oh, it gets worse.
When you think about it calmly, we only have one option. We leave. There is no point in risking our lives unnecessarily.
I agree.
It's not unnecessary. I need to find him.
No, it's okay. We can move on.
No, you don't. You can live your life without him. Just forget he exists.
I do. Otherwise, I'll never find out anything about these markings.
Markings?
That's... No, it's nothing.
Oh, for the love of... don't bother. At this point, you might as well tell him. With a mouth that big, it's a wonder you kept it a secret for this long.
I hung my head. It's just like Leo says, I'm too reckless. But I didn't mean to blurt it out.
Well...
He looked on, eagerly. After checking that nobody else was looking, I rolled up my sleeve and showed him the markings that ran down my arm.
So it was you after all.
What?
Everyone around Stagwitch was talking about a boy with markings up his arm. I had no clue it was you. Isn't this a pleasant surprise?
Oh.
He lightly touched the dark characters.
I don't suppose you recognize them?
No. But I can't help but feel that I've seen them somewhere before.
That's how I feel too.
How did you get them? And what does it have to do with finding this guy?
It just appeared one day. It was all such a blur, but I ended up exiled from Aurelia Cavella and alone in the forest. Caspian is the only name I have to go off of, but he might not even be alive. But if he is, then he might know what this means.
Wait, Aurelia Cavella?
You've heard of it?
Well, of course. Who hasn't? With a history as bloody as ours, everyone wants to believe it really exists. A mythical city, deep in the forest, free of taints from the outside world, led by the fabled divine speaker who acts as a voice for the gods. It's a fun story. Imagine if there actually was a place like that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, totally. What?
What do you mean, a story? That's where I come from. And Leo's too. Aurelia Cavella.
Wait, seriously? It's not made up?
Everything you said about it is true too. The speaker leads the town and acts as a voice between the gods and ourselves. And it is deep in the forest.
Whoa. Wait a second. He actually exists? I thought he was just a legend. No one's heard about there actually being a divine speaker in hundreds of years.
It's true. He's really tall, with long white hair.
Sounds handsome. Any way you can introduce me?
No.
Wait, tell us the story you know about it.
Why?
It may yet be hiding more truths.
Well, if you really want to know, I guess I can tell you. It's a long one, and it isn't pretty. At least some of it is a true story, up until a point, but the rest of it was shrouded in mystery. Or so I thought, anyway. Over 500 years ago, Sid Caim was ruled both by the king and by the divine speaker. The two would work together, with equal rights to rule over the land. People would travel from far and wide to be blessed by the Aurelian gods. The religion was spread out over most of Vidus at this point. While they seemed to work together well on the outside, everyone knew that it was tense between the king and the speaker. I just don't know why. Was the king mad that the speaker got so much attention? Did he want to rule over Sid Caim alone? Anyway, I see relationships continued over the generations before it culminated in the war 500 years ago.
A war?
Our king rallied to remove the speaker from power and got support from all his council. He decreed that the speaker and all of the Aurelian gods were to be outlawed and that anyone found worshipping them would face death. Of course, the speaker didn't take too kindly to this, and thus continued the bloody history of our kings and their speakers. A great war that cost many lives between the believers and the non-believers. That's the end of the stuff I knew was true. Some say the speaker died there, along with most of his followers. But that's too boring, isn't it? Others say that Prince Xion, one of the twin princes who disagreed with his father and brother, left with the speaker and their followers, and formed a city of their own, Aurelia Cavella. I always thought that sounded a little too romantic, but who knows?
No way.
Oh, wow.
What?
Prince Xion of Sid Caim, of course. He was in our records as the founder of Aurelia Cavella 500 years ago. At the time, I thought that was strange. If we're the only civilization, then why did it only start then? Does that mean they've just been hiding it from us? Does the speaker secretly know? Is he really lying to us?
I don't know anymore.
We have no king in Aurelia Cavella anymore. The royal family died.
History really does repeat itself. Maybe kings and speakers are always destined to fight.
Are you saying that speaker could have been the one to kill them?
Who knows? I'm just saying it's a possibility. I don't know anything.
I don't know if I should say this, but Caspian was the last prince of Aurelia Cavella. Apparently he never took up the crown and died with his family, but it looks like he might have escaped. That's why we're searching so desperately.
Could the speaker know about this? Did he know Caspian? Sorry, I'm trying to avoid spoilers for you guys, but that one really made me laugh. Sign finished up the last fork full of food on his plate and turned to look at me.
Why don't we talk more outside?
Okay.
He hailed the waiter and discreetly handed him money. This wasn't a cheap meal.
Here's a tip just for you, handsome.
Thank you, sir.
The food was delicious, but I couldn't help but be left with a sour taste in my mouth. Oh boy. As we pushed open the door, we noticed that the skies were already dark. We must have been in there for hours without realizing.
So, let's get this straight.
You're not, we get it.
Aurelia Cavella actually exists, you got cursed or something, and you were thrown out. Then you met these two? Why exactly were you thrown out?
I was told I could find out something about my markings in our archive, but it seems like that wasn't true.
I wonder who did that.
The speaker found me there and threw me straight out.
I was hired to tell him that. I don't know by whom.
Doesn't that seem a little suspicious? Did you do something to upset the speaker of yours?
Yeah, be born.
What? No! That was the first time I'd ever even spoken to him. We lived in completely different worlds, so I never met him before.
If you say so. Just sounds like some kind of setup to me.
I don't think I did anything that would upset someone.
Well, since you're blabbing about everything, you should also mention that I was sent to kill you.
I mean, if you want.
Whoa, are you still trying to kill him?
Yes, actively. The assassination failed in the restaurant.
No. If you mention any of this to anyone, you're dead.
You can trust me. I'm the most trustworthy person around.
I don't believe that.
Sure, if you were the only person in the room.
Have I done anything to show that I'm untrustworthy?
No, it's just your vibes. There's still more I haven't told them, but it's probably best if I keep it to myself for now. Even Leos doesn't know about my dreams or what happened with Fawn that night. Fawn said it was best to keep that to myself, so I might just leave it for now. Now that I think about it, was visiting the archives really reason enough for an execution? I never thought of the Speaker as a cruel man before. Then again, if he knew about the outside world, would he have agreed to have me expelled? I don't know. Maybe there's something more to this after all. Or maybe I'm overthinking it.
So all of that led you here to find a man who may have answers.
That's right.
Then what Leo said isn't true. Finding him is important. And I'll help you, of course. I can't just leave now when it's getting interesting. I'm like a saint or something.
Sure. Fawn stayed quiet for a lot of this conversation. I looked towards him just as he opened his mouth. Good input.
What if we never find him?
We will.
Then I'll deal with that when I get to it, I guess.
Let's be positive. I think it's about time to meet up with our mystery man anyway.
Don't remind me.
I think you're right.
Now I'm nervous again. I took a deep breath. The air was cool. The further I got from home, the colder it was. For some reason, I felt nervous as we made our way back to where I first met that man.
Sign, I wanted to ask you something. What do you know about Oxibor?
What do I know? They make the best toys.
Answer seriously.
Fine. I know that the Murano family controls most of their town.
The Muranos? We heard a little bit about them before. They run the glass production here?
That's right. You know, knowledge is pretty attractive in a guy.
Thanks.
Is that all you know?
I heard the Murano family originally came from Sidkame, but ran here with their tails between their legs a few hundred years ago. They built Oxibor up from nothing.
Well, I mean, right now it's not looking great, so is it really from nothing?
Did they do something wrong?
He shrugged at my question.
No clue. I've never looked into it myself.
Sure. We kept walking through the dim streets on our way to meet with a mysterious man. Everything was dead quiet. That itself isn't much different to earlier, but it gave off an eerie feeling when the only thing lighting the streets was the moon. Every step we took echoed through the empty streets. We didn't say it to each other, but we had a silent agreement to watch each other's backs. Something felt wrong. It doesn't feel like we're in the middle of a city. It feels the same as that night I ran through the forest alone. But deadly quiet. When we finally arrived at the spot from earlier, we could see someone leaning against the dark walls, illuminated by the moonlight. As we approached, he turned to face us.
So, you came after all.
Unfortunately. He looked between our faces. He probably wasn't expecting there to be so many of us.
Come with me.
He turned and started walking into the darkness. He didn't check to see if we were following. I took a deep breath. There's only one thing to do. Run away!
Come on, before we lose him.
Leos gave me a serious look. and Fawn looked worried. I wasn't scared before, but now that we're here, in the middle of the night, in pitch black darkness, I put those thoughts away and followed after the mysterious man. We caught up quickly. He was walking slowly, but with a purpose. He didn't say a word. After a few minutes of silent travel, he stopped in front of a large house. It was hard to see in the dark, but it truly looked magnificent. There was a high fence surrounding the property, with a large metal gate. I'd never seen anything like it. A plaque on the gate read, Murano.
Stay quiet.
I gave him a small nod, and we followed him through the gateway and inside of the house. We found no reprieve from the vast darkness inside. It was pitch black, not a single candle or lantern in sight. Once we were all inside, he closed the door with a thud. He lifted a candle from a table and lit it, but it didn't make it any less creepy. Slowly, he used the candle to light 2 lanterns. Light spread out over our surroundings. Everything was so grand. A large staircase took up most of my vision. Beautiful wooden floorboards and expensive decorations. At home, everything was much more practical. This could only be a show of money.
My parents are away, and we're the only ones here. We can talk freely.
We followed you all the way here. Tell us what you know.
Soon.
This is a waste of time. We're leaving.
No, wait.
Leos turned and jiggled the doorknob. It was stuck.
I locked it behind us. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I just need you to listen to me.
Sure.
I know about Caspian. I know where he went. I'll tell you, but I need your help.
In the middle of the night? You can't get our help during the day?
No.
No. I mean, it's easier to talk now. No one will hear us.
What could be so secret you need no one to hear?
I'm sure you've noticed. Everyone is on edge.
We have.
I'm sure you've also heard that these people have been going missing, with some turning up dead.
That's right.
The ones that turn up, they can barely be called bodies. Their arms and legs are usually missing, and their faces are nothing but a bloody pulp, if they have one. What you might not know, the people that have gone missing, and the ones that have turned up dead, they were all foretold.
I thought he was going to say they're all the same. It's like, duh. Yes, okay.
What?
In the center of town is where we pay respect to our dead. The names of the recently deceased are shown on our town notice board.
That's nice.
At first, no one noticed. If a name or two appeared, who would read them all to check?
Are you saying...
The names of the living were being added slowly over time. We thought it was a kid playing a joke. But when they started turning up dead, no one thought it was a joke anymore.
How long has this been going on for?
Years. Only now have they ramped up enough for people to notice.
I could feel my heart beating 1,000,000 times a second. Leos, Sign, and Fawn all looked equally shaken. This is too far above us.
Why? Why didn't you call for help? The king could have...
The king's long since forgotten us. Not that he'd help people like us anyway. Whatever's killing them, it has to be stopped.
You want us to stop it?
I can't do it alone. I'll be killed too.
This is too dangerous, right? We're not gonna risk our lives for something like this.
He whipped off his glasses, a desperate look in his eyes.
Wait, please. I know about Caspian. I'll tell you if you can help me. I know a lot about him.
Ask about him, maybe?
Who are you?
Me?
You live in a house like this, stalk around in the middle of the night.
Oh my god, he's Batman.
I'm nobody important. I'm just someone that wants life to go back to normal.
Something about this guy is definitely off. But whatever's going on here is serious.
Can you at least tell us your name?
My name? I remember. You can call me Nox.
Nox?
Cool. Got an achievement for this. Yippee.
That's right.
My name is Rain, and this is Leo, Spawn, and Sign.
Nice to meet you.
Can I have a moment to talk to my friends about this?
Of course. I'll go prepare things while I wait.
Slowly, Nox ascended the stairs and left our view. As soon as he was gone, Leos grabbed me by the shoulders.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
How badly do you want to die?
I really don't, but I'm afraid I will.
What? I don't. What other choice do we have?
What do you mean, what other choice do we have? Stop saying that. We turn around now and leave. This isn't our problem.
Really? It seems like our problem to me.
How could you think this has anything to do with us?
Well, we're locked in here.
Valid.
If we say no, will he let us out?
No. I glanced around the dimly lit room. There were other doors leading further into the house, but who knows if any led outside.
I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, but this is the Murano estate. You all saw the name on the gate, right?
I did notice that. Is he?
Not to cause any alarm, but as far as I'm aware, there's no one named Nox in the Murano family.
I'm scared.
Me too, Fawn.
Don't be. We'll be fine.
I doubt it. I hope he can't hear the way my voice is shaking, or see my hands trembling. Okay, so we know from playing the demo when I tried to escape that we should not try to escape. I'll let you guys know just in case you didn't watch me playing the demo. If you try to escape, there's this creepy figure or something that tells you to run solely because it wants to chase you. You end up dying. Everybody ends up dying. And then Fox, because that's what we know his name is right now, and the little, blue bird end up coming across your dead body and burying you. So at least that's very nice. But we have to agree to help.
We have to agree to help him.
That's what I just said.
I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling. I feel like if we try to leave...
I feel that too.
I don't think he's dangerous. I think he just desperately needs help.
I think he's dangerous.
I agree. Plus, you won't find out anything if we just leave. And if you're sad, I'm sad too.
Thanks.
This isn't the time to be joking around. This is serious.
Come on, I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little.
You're always head first into danger.
Listen, we cannot leave this time, Leos. I understand. I want to leave too. We cannot. Right now.
Fine. All right, we'll help him. But if he doesn't tell us what we want to know...
The sound of footsteps echoed down the stairway as Nox rejoined our group.
Have you thought about it? Will you help me?
Unfortunately.
We will. But you have to tell us everything you know about Caspian.
And you'll be telling us now.
I'll tell you half now. No more.
And the other half after?
That's right.
I guess that seems fair.
Start then.
Caspian. When I was much younger, only a small child, that's when I met him. I was in the markets with my mother. Standing in the center looking lost was a boy much older than me. He had messy brown hair, I remember, and a curious look on his face. The way he looked at the world, it was like it was his first time seeing it.
And then what happened?
My mother, she asked him if he had any place to go, but he didn't. And he stayed with us for a time, and we became close. He felt like an older brother, really. I wish that we could stay together forever. He never told my mother or father about where he came from, but he told me that it was from the land far away. and he had no choice but to leave. He always had a sad look in his eyes. And then, his name. One night, his name. It appeared. I wouldn't. There's no way I'd let it happen to him.
So, you're saying he left. Have you seen him since?
I haven't seen him in nearly 20 years. But I promise, I can assure you, he's alive. It didn't get him.
It?
Okay, but we can't search in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you gotta let us out first. Then we can investigate tomorrow.
No. You'll use the spare bedrooms tonight.
Thanks.
What? You gotta be kidding me. What, are you trying to keep us hostage here?
No. But the streets are dangerous. Do you have anywhere else to stay?
He's got a point. As creepy as it is here, we may have to take him up on it.
Rain.
Calm down, guys. He's just showing us some hospitality. Right?
Right. It's not safe out there. You'll be fine for the night if you stay here.
Thanks. Everyone looked uneasy. Hey, Leos, what do you think?
Leos, what do you think?
What do I think? I think this place looks lovely, and I'd be ecstatic at the opportunity to stay the night.
Okay, so we'll take 3 rooms. Well, there's 4 of us. We'll take 4 rooms.
Wow. How lucky I am.
For tonight, I think it's best if we just do what he says.
Just for tonight, all right?
Of course.
I've always wanted to sleep over in a haunted house.
Yippee.
Ooh, me too.
I'm not serious.
No, but I am.
Let me show you to your rooms. Follow me.
Thanks. He slowly rose back up the stairwell, and we all followed behind him. Is this really the right choice? As I looked around at our eerie surroundings, I wasn't so sure. Every step we took away from the entry hall, the further we were plunged once again into darkness.
You can use these 4 rooms. They're all free. I suggest not lighting any candles, and don't wander around.
Thanks.
Why?
I wouldn't want you to fall asleep and leave it going. I've seen whole houses burned down because of simple mistakes.
Yeah.
I see.
Lock your door behind you, and try to be out before sunrise.
Wow, that's not creepy at all.
The earlier you start searching, the better.
Okay. Thank you, Nox. We'll be sure to do that.
Then I'll take my leave. As for tomorrow, there's a lot of leads to follow, so good luck.
Good night.
Nox quietly faded into darkness and left the 4 of us standing alone in the hall.
What are we doing here?
Going to bed.
At least we have somewhere to spend the night.
But why do we have to lock the doors?
Maybe he's worried about burglars?
Maybe he's worried that if I don't lock the door, he won't be able to resist me.
That could be it.
Right now.
Or he's worried that something will come in and get us.
That couldn't be true. If we just do what he tells us, I'm sure we'll be fine and be able to leave tomorrow.
So you agree? He's basically holding us hostage.
Could be worse places to be kept as hostages.
Like?
Like places that don't let us all have a king-sized bed for free. He's not even chaining us up. Not that I'd mind.
I'm glad you're so easy to please.
That's not what people usually say about me. I'll let you have a try if you want, though. More than one try just for you. In fact, be my guest and try all night.
Sign, we have 4 rooms. Each one of us is going into a different room, and we're all locking the door.
What?
I think it's bedtime.
I do too, Fawn.
Are you going to be okay by yourself, Fawn?
I'll lock the door, so I should be fine.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take this room then.
Night-night. Sleep tight.
Thanks.
Leos, if you get lonely, you know where my room is.
I'll be fine by myself. Thanks anyway.
Leo slammed the door behind him, leaving Sign snickering.
Good night.
Good night, Fawn. If anything happens, come get me.
I will. Thanks, Rain.
The other two gently closed their doors behind them. The sudden emptiness made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. For some reason, staying out here alone felt like a bad idea. I quickly entered the room and shut the door behind me. The room was dark and stuffy. It hadn't been used in a while by the looks of it. It had that smell, like old books not touched in years, like dust that had been settled and was allowed to stay. I guess I can't be picky, though. Nox said that we should lock the doors and sleep, but I couldn't help but be curious. Lock the door and go to sleep? I think it's probably for the best that I just get some sleep now. Something about the way Nox told us to lock the doors. It was scary. I'll do as I'm told. I put my hand on the lock and was halfway through turning it when I heard a sound out in the hallway. What was that? I know he said to lock the doors and go to sleep, but now I'm kind of curious. One small look wouldn't hurt, right? I opened the door and peeked out. The tapping sound was louder out there. It was coming from down the hallway. A rhythmic tapping. No matter how hard I tried to squint, it was just too dark to see that far. The only way to find out would be to walk closer. I'm not sure about this. On the one hand, I should just lock my door and leave it at that. Whatever it is doesn't concern me. I'm briefly considering whether or not I should be looking around the room. Did I just make a bad choice? I mean, I know, but later. But on the other, I'm curious. You know, I don't know how far down this path I need to go before the game will tell me that it's the bad choice. I do know what the source of the tapping sound is, and I know that is fine. We don't have to worry about it. I'm letting you know right now. But what happens after we find the source? I don't know. There's really no point in pretending to weigh up the options. I'm too curious to not check. I stepped out of my room and took a few steps down the hall. The tapping stopped, but I continued on anyway.
Hello?
My voice echoed down the hall before disappearing. Silence. An empty, hollow silence. A sudden cold shiver ran down my spine. Is someone watching me? I stood completely still and searched around with my eyes. Couldn't see anyone. Okay, I really think I should just go to sleep. I don't want to stay out here.
Boo!
I sign.
Ah! Sign! That's not funny.
Sorry. Did I scare you?
The first time, yes. The second time, no.
I couldn't help myself. You look terrified. I just wanted to surprise you a little.
What are you even doing out here?
I could ask you the same question.
What? I heard a weird tapping, so I came to see what it was.
Oh, whoops. That was me.
I can see that. So, now will you tell me?
How could I sleep after all the mysterious things that Nox guy said?
Easily. Lock the door, get in bed.
I just wanted to investigate a little. I feel like a real detective.
Aren't you scared?
If I say I'm scared, will you hold me?
No.
Hold you? Isn't that something like you're supposed to do with someone you love?
Love? Who told you that?
Fawn told me. He said that out here, people fall in love and kiss and stuff.
That's a weird way to describe it. You make it sound like you don't know what love is.
I don't. It's new to me.
You're pretty young, right? I'm sure you'll understand eventually.
Maybe one day.
Aren't you younger than me?
I'm 22.
You're 4 years older than me?
Don't worry, I can teach you all the things you don't know.
I'm okay.
What? Anyway, that's not really the point. I only recently learned about it.
This sounds pretty interesting. Why don't you come back to my room so we can talk more? I'm starting to feel scared after all.
Well, okay. Being out here is kind of creepy anyway.
Rain, no.
Right. I wouldn't want you to trip either. So we should probably hold hands for safety, yeah?
Okay, sure.
That sounds reasonable, I think.
His fingers smoothly glided between mine, locking our hands together.
This is the first time I've held hands with anyone like this before.
What, like this?
We held our hands up in front of my face. The way our fingers laced together was kind of nice. I'm just thinking for if you just suddenly disappear into the darkness, you're staying with me, bitch.
It feels nice, right?
Yeah.
Sign pulled me along like this, all the way to his room. The door shut behind us with a soft thud, and Sign quickly locked the door.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sign's room was nearly identical to mine. The same bed, the same table, the same wardrobe. The same amount of dust. They definitely hadn't had many guests lately. What's the point of such a big house if it's just going to sit empty? He sat down on the edge of the bed and beckoned me closer, so I pulled a chair up and sat down facing him.
We haven't really had much time alone, huh?
It was on purpose.
Well, we only just met.
True. It just feels like we've known each other for much longer.
Thank you.
Let's use this time to get to know each other. I want to be close with you, too. I'm so jealous of Fawn and Leos. They get to cling to you all they want.
Oh my god, and that's it for the rest of this episode, unfortunately.
Yeah, I want to be friends too.
I do know that I might have to block out the next scene, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Friends. Hey, I have an idea. We could be really special friends. How does that sound?
Sign, you are taking advantage of Rain's good nature.
Yeah.
There's a good boy. But first, let's continue that discussion from earlier.
No, thank you.
What do you mean you don't know what love is?
I don't really know what to say. In Aurelia Cavella, it just doesn't exist. I only just started learning about it from Fawn.
No love? None at all?
No. We just get matched up by the speaker. No love involved. Not that I fully understand love yet, though.
Then what about... You can just whoever you'd like, no strings attached? That sounds amazing!
No.
What?
Wait, are you kidding? You don't even know about...
I don't know anything about it. I've only heard a little.
But they have kids in Aurelia Cavella, right?
Yeah, so the divine speaker holds their hands while they do it.
Yeah.
But you don't know where they come from.
No.
That's right.
Wow, you've actually lived in a bubble your entire life. I'm almost impressed.
Actually, there wasn't a bubble. We were surrounded by...
Okay, I get it. So what did Fawn tell you?
He told me that you get a warm feeling in your chest, and that's how you know you're in love. Then you get married and kiss and stuff. I met another weird guy who explained a little more to me, too.
That's all? You have a lot to learn, then. If you want, I'm happy to teach you.
No, thanks.
Teach me?
Yeah, for, educational purposes.
That sounded so fake, Sign.
Fawn only told you about one side of love anyway, the boring side. I can teach you about the other side, if you'd like.
No, thank you. Not right now. We're in the middle of a haunted mansion about to be killed by a demon. Whatever he is. That's kind of him.
Well, if you're offering...
No, Rain.
Please, teach me.
Rain.
Seriously? Yay! I was sure you'd say no.
He looked pretty excited. It made my heart beat a little faster, too. There's so much I don't know. Sign really is a nice guy.
So, where do we start?
And I think this is a good place to end the episode. For real this time. We might have to skip through, and the next time that you see me in this series, it's going to be past this scene. Because, like, we do get a little bit involved. This was the scene that I was talking about earlier that I wasn't sure whether or not I'd have to skip. I'm going to play through it real fast, just to see if there is a way that I can get around it without showing anything. Around it in a way that I can be allowed to show it on YouTube. But if I can't, we're just gonna have to skip the scene. Listen. There are just some things I cannot show in this game. We already skipped one of the scary scenes that I was talking about earlier in this episode. Like I said, if we didn't agree to get into the mansion, we would have died. And I don't really know how the rest of this is going to go. Pretty much right after this scene was when the demo ended. And so next episode, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of the game that I haven't seen. I don't know how this whole mansion thing ends. I don't know what I should be looking out for, how to not die in this scenario. But hopefully everything ends out okay and we can get past this and try to figure out where Caspian is, because I don't want to be here. Unfortunately, though, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed what you've seen so far, and I will see you next time for some more of The Divine Speaker.